Hello, everybody. Everything is quiet. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Startup Grind. It's always a pleasure that a couple of people make it, a couple who don't. Let's see how we get along today. Today, we've got a very interesting speaker. She's quite well known already in the startup scene, even if her company is not that old. She's probably one of the most elegant speakers I had on stage. Maybe Harald Mara was on the same level. So please give her a warm round of applause, Bianca Gfrei from Kiweno. Smartphone is here, everything is here. We're fine to go. Should be. Let's see. Is it on? No,
Great.
everything should be fine.
Okay.
Okay. So Bianca, maybe tell us a bit about your background, where you grew up, maybe what was your parents like? Do you come from entrepreneurs family? Give us some insight about the young little Bianca running around, already wanting to be an entrepreneur, or I don't know, maybe a doctor or whatever. Where do you come from and what is your backstory?
Okay, first of all, hi, and thank you for the invitation. Really cool to be here. Yeah, what was the little Bianca? I was always very active and running around, really. But I grew up in the countryside in Tyrol, in the mountains, in a very, very small village, in a pretty conservative environment. I was the first of two children. I have a smaller sister. And we were raised by a single mother. And I think it also really influenced me because I had to learn to be independent at a very young age. And I also learned that I really had to ask for things because nobody will give it to me or I won't get it from life. I really have to ask for it and I have to do something for it. And I think it also shaped me and my personality for being an entrepreneur, which I didn't plan and know at this time. So no, I had no entrepreneurial background or family background. I was, well, as a child, I always wanted to be someone else. So when somebody asked me today, I wanted to be, I don't know, a professor, and tomorrow I wanted to be something completely else. So I always really loved the variety. And I went to school in the small village I grew up, and then I decided that I want to go to high school gymnasium. So I had to move to a bigger town. And I was there, for 8-9 years, and I graduated at the age of 17, and then
Or was it Innsbruck or was it?
It was in Innsbruck,
It was
yeah.
in Innsbruck. So town might be a bit. Might be a
City.
bit bigger of a town or a small city.
City, yeah, in Innsbruck. It was in Innsbruck. I right after graduation, I decided that I wanted to go to see something else, and I was very open what I want. So I didn't decide where I want to go. I just knew I want to go somewhere else. I want to get in touch with new people, with new cultures, and applied for different things. So voluntary work and being an au pair, nanny, and things like that. And I had two offers, one in Colombia, and I accepted that one. But unfortunately, they canceled it 1 or 2 weeks before I wanted to go there, and then I accepted the other offer that I had, and so I was for a couple of months in Barcelona, in Spain, and I was there as a nanny. Pretty cool time. And then I came back and I started with my first studies. So I did science of communication, and it turned out that it was nice, but it wasn't what I expected. But
so maybe a quick stop on. So I've seen online that you speak quite a couple of languages that you have learned at least to basic know-how. So you speak much more than I do. So how is that? So first you go away to Barcelona, which is a foreign country. Then you go even further and come to Vienna, which is probably for a Tyrolean girl the worst you can go. Yeah. So from coming back from Barcelona, maybe coming back to the languages. You speak 5 languages. How did that come along? Or were you always gifted, or is it only that you only tried and then had some basic know-how? And do you think that language is important?
I learned it at school. So, I had, I think it's extremely important because communications is really like a key to a lot of things, to maybe business or also relationships or whatever. So I think it's extremely important. And I always knew that I wanted to speak foreign languages really well because it opens me so much doors. And I always wanted to, or I always knew that I wanted to go abroad. So that was pretty clear for me that I have to learn it, and I really liked it. So at school, I was taught Spanish, English, French, what else? And Italian, yeah.
So in Barcelona, what was the most that it differed from where you came from? You came from Tyrol, which is, let's say, a little state of Austria, not very urban area, and then you go to Barcelona, which is a very interesting city. I was there already. So what was like was there a culture clash, or like what did you learn from it, and what could you take out that you maybe could have applied later on in your current career that you pursue?
Okay. It was not a huge culture clash, so it wasn't that extremely different. It's a pretty urban, or it's a great city. So you have all the things that we have here too. I mean, but on the other side, it was also a little bit of a culture clash, because when you come into a family and you live there, and you have to adopt a little bit their lifestyle and to have to go with them. So it also changes you. And what was the most, or the thing that I have in mind? Well, actually, it was really open, and Barcelona is a really bustling city, and really so many cultures, and I just really liked it. So it's great. Yeah.
So did it influence your further, like your studies, that you want to pursue the communication studies? Because it was before you started your studies, was it?
Yeah.
So did it influence that decision, or was it already fixed beforehand?
No, it actually didn't influence it. I was the first children of my family that did university, so I just decided that I wanted to do it, and I tried it, and it wasn't what I expected, but I still finished and I graduated from it, because it always has good things, and I take a lot out of it. I studied science of communication and international business, and it's a great mix, because you have different perspectives, and it really helps me right now. You really take another perspective from different kind of studies. Yeah.
So why did you decide for international business as a second choice?
Because I wanted to do business
on an international level, with all your languages. Okay, that was an easy one then. So when did you start working, actually?
When did I start working? I think I had my first job, paid job, at age of 11 or something like that. So babysitting and stuff like this. I always worked part-time. Yeah, babysitting as a waitress, selling ice cream.
So you're a seller, kind of.
Yeah, I'm a seller.
Summarize it that way.
I always sold things. Yeah, I also sold insurances and
Right,
mobile phone contracts and all kind of stuff.
Did you do that at the call center, or?
Yeah, a little. Well, actually not. I worked later on. I worked at a call center, but it wasn't then it wasn't selling, it was project management. It was actually quite cool. I stumbled into it, and they launched a new project. They launched Aldi Travel UK, so it's the like pendant to Hofer Reisen, and they did it from Vienna, and I did the project management at a quite young age, and it really was very nice because we had a team of like 5 call center agents, and yeah, I mean it wasn't a big challenge, but it was cool.
There's a reason I'm asking this question, because I recently had a quite interesting 2-hour discussion with a top seller in the IT B2B business who sells to all the big companies in Austria. And he told me that he started selling at the call center he's been working at, CCC. And there he did outbound calls, selling stuff he didn't understand. But that was he basically is an engineer. And that was his pitch into and his kick to start out selling. Is actually quite interesting. And it's actually, it's not bothering people, it's actually quite funny. It can be bothering people, so that's what I was asking questions.
But you learn a lot from it. You really, really learn a lot from it. You learn how to deal with people. You learn how to deal with angry customers. You learn what to say and what not to say. So it's a really good school for later on.
So what do you not say to customers?
We never said problem. Problem was a no-go. There were no problems. There were just challenges.
Oh, I love that. Bullshit
yeah,
bingo.
We had a whole list of words that we would never use. You also learn to speak very positive. You always say it's possible. And we try to do it, even though you know it won't work out and you don't have anything to sell. But you always stay positive. It's really good.
Yeah, it doesn't sound that it's so difficult for you to stay positive, as far as I can say from our talks. So, yeah, then what was further? What was your further career path? Like, did your studies and beside it work? Like, I saw that you talked briefly about it. You did Icons. Maybe you can tell the audience what Icons is and what you did there, because I think, who knows what Icons is? It's not that much.
We have some.
So maybe
some colleagues here. Well, Icons is a student-run consulting company. We have currently around 60 students, I think, doing projects. It's really cool. So we were very interdisciplinary, and we did consultancy projects with companies. So we first had to acquire our customers, then we had to negotiate things. We had to set up the plan. We conducted the project, and somebody also had to manage all this. And it's really run like a small company. So we also had our own departments, HR department, marketing department, sales department. And you really feel like in a small company, and it's like, you can learn, but failure is not that, I would say, it doesn't impact that much. It's in later stage or later life.
Shouldn't impact anywhere. Anyway, so where did you encounter Icons? Like, how did you get involved into this? Because, it's not like the...
Well, actually I knew it from my times when I studied in Vienna. I heard from it, but it wasn't in my environment. And then I graduated from my first studies, and I only went back to Innsbruck, where I came from, because I applied for a scholarship, for international scholarship for my master studies in the United States, and I had to wait for 1.5 years until I get accepted, or till I hopefully get accepted, and I decided that I want to work and study in Innsbruck, and I worked at Swarovski at this time, so I went back to Innsbruck, and there I met old friends again, and they told me about Icons, and actually Lisa, she convinced me that it's the right thing for me. And she said she was already there, and she said, "Yeah, we need you. Come apply for it." And yeah, it was a great decision.
So you stayed there, and you were managing director at Icons, as far as I could read. How was that, managing so much students that probably had a lot of stuff on their mind. I know that from other associations I've been leading or have been involved with. It's not so easy to manage people who actually their main priority usually is something else. Maybe some insights into how that worked out.
Yeah, it was challenging. It was really challenging because you need these people to focus, and even though they're, for example, it's exam time or a really stressful time at university, you still want them to do the projects, and they the project shouldn't prolong because, or shouldn't delay because of this. So yeah, you have to manage a lot of different interests, but it's extremely, you take out a lot of it, and a lot that I can also apply now. I mean, I managed 25 students together with my managing director partner at the age of 22 or 22. So you really learn a lot. You learn how to deal with problems, how to motivate people, also how to recruit people, how to it's so much, it's so diverse. It's really cool.
Okay, I think it's time that we switch to basically what you're doing now. You started, it was called I'm Newbie.
Yeah.
What was your reason? What was the thought? What triggered the journey into becoming a startup and getting on where you are now? Like, what was the main thing that started it? Maybe tell the people what you're doing.
Yeah. Well, I suffered from stomach aches and stomach cramps for more than 2 years, and I didn't know what's the reason. And I went to several doctors, and we had a lot of, or I had a lot of checkups, and it was really time consuming. And part of this I also had to pay from my own pocket. So it was also cost intensive, and at the end I found out that I only had food intolerances, and I was like, what the fuck? I mean, it was like a 2-year journey to find out that I can't drink milk. I mean, this is ridiculous. So I thought, together with my now co-founders, one of them is an internist, so an expert on this field of functional medicine. We sat there, like a lot of startup stories start with a glass of wine, and we thought, if we can improve this process, and if there's room to optimize something, and there is definitely a lot of room to optimize the whole process. And then we did the first steps. I never thought, okay, now I start a startup or start a company. I thought I want to solve a problem that I had and that some other people I know also have, and this was like the starting point for us.
So as a startup in the life science area is like a bit more complicated than when people in the room, usually there's a lot of IT or pure IT people in the room. Let's say their playing field is a bit easier to hold to. On life sciences, you usually have a lot of certifications, a lot of bureaucratic things. So how did you approach, like what was your learnings? Maybe some insights you can give out, how to shorten it or what not to do on your first steps, and maybe tell us a bit on the first years when it was still I'm Newbie and why you switched to Kiweno, and maybe this part of the journey.
Okay, yeah, advice is very simple. Don't give up. I mean, a lot of people told us, you can't start this company, you don't get any certifications, it won't work out. How will you do it? I mean, you're my co-founder, my second co-founder, he's the same age. We were 23 when we founded it, and they said, you want to found a pharmaceutical company, or you want to negotiate with pharma companies, with laboratories? No way. And you just have to do it. Also, when it comes to different certifications that you need, often the people that have to give you the certifications tell you that you won't get it for this reason or for that reason. Yeah, you have to find another way, and you will get it. And as you said, as you mentioned, the certifications, we have it for Europe, for the EU region, and if you would also plan to go to the US, we would, for example, need FDA approval. So this would be another big step for us. But yeah, one step at a time. And what was the second question?
Maybe a bit of an insight of the first year or two until came to switching over the brand, and like what the major steps you did because you developed your product. Like maybe tell them a bit more about what is the product and then how did the steps went along, because it's a bit of a different insight than an IT company who simply launches a minimal viable product. Hopefully within weeks you have a bit more forerunning time before you can actually do something. So some insight into this short period or long period.
Yeah, first we did some market research, and we found out that there are only few doctors that diagnose food intolerances. So in all Western Austria, it's just a couple of doctors that do this kind of things, and that's also why you wait such a long time until you get an appointment and so on and so forth. And it's really, really expensive. And we thought, okay, if we can create a self-test, like a self-test kit that we can sell to doctors, it would be a great thing, because more doctors can provide it to their customers, and we can also work together with pharmacies, and pharmacies can sell it. And this was our first thought. So we thought we need the doctors, the therapists, the pharmacies to sell our product, because our hypothesis was that the consumers aren't ready to buy medical products online, and that we weren't able to transport all these information that we need to that they understand their diagnosis. And so we first really approached the B2B market, and we completely failed. We invested a shitload of money. So all that we had, all that I saved for my master studies, all that my co-founder had, and really a lot of money, and we invested also over one year only in the B2B market. We approached 916 pharmacies in whole Austria, and we had like a success rate of 3%. So it was really frustrating. And then we thought, okay, it's time to change something, and maybe our hypothesis isn't correct, and we need to find another way. I mean, this was also a really, really tough time for us. When you fail and when you invested so much money, also money that wasn't our money. We also invested money from, or we also spent the money from friends and family and so on. And you
fools.
It's you have such a pressure. And it was an extremely tough time for me and my co-founder. And I also got this time I also got very attractive job offers. So like it was sometimes it felt like life wanted to tell you or wanted to seduce you to do something else. And right now I'm really, really happy that we said, no, we want to go on. We want to find another way. We're going to make this happen. And that's how we changed from a B2B offline company to a digital company with a clear focus on the end customer. So we do nothing with B2B right now.
Was it already the switch also of the brand, or was that later?
Well, it was first we had to switch our mind. So first we had to think different, and then also the whole redesign and so on came along, and renaming. Yeah, we just thought it would give us good energy to start new and to start fresh. And we changed. First we addressed our customers with C, so very formally, and now we are talking to our customers very like personally. We address them all with do. So we really we address them with their first name. So it was really a change of also of branding, of strategy, everything.
Looking back at the B2B times, what would you advise B2 people in their audience? Like, not there of course is always the rule, don't do it or do it, but like, what was the things that you think now when you look back would be impactful to have known, so that you would maybe have taken a shorter route or something? Was there like big learnings for you that this we should have done 3 months ago or something like that, that was really important for you?
Well, a lot of people told us that it will be extremely difficult or impossible to change this system. So change a system that isn't open for innovation. So the pharma market, for example, that currently is not that open for all these things and for digitalization. And a lot of people told us before, but we were so convinced, and we just had to experience it. So, well, my advice, maybe listen to people, but on the other hand, also experience it yourself. So if we wouldn't have experienced it, I think we wouldn't have believed it. So
Advice is nice, but experience is better.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, that's a good one. So then you switched over to the B2C model that you're now having. What were the major steps, and when did Hansi, as we all know him, and he was here already, when did he get involved? Like, and how did that progress come along, and what is your first big steps, and where are you now, basically?
Okay, I think Hansi got involved right at this time where we knew, okay, either we have to switch dramatically, or we will fail, or we will have to do something else. So I really got to know him at where we were at the lowest point, I would say. We had a lot of experience. So I mean, we already knew we have to change something, but we didn't know exactly what to do. And I did like 6 months of fundraising, so raising money, and we also had really, really nice offers from investors. So at this time, it was in the beginning of 2015. We had really nice offers from also very nice investors and business angels, and I just knew I need advice from somebody really experienced in this field. And a friend of mine, Bernhard from Zoom Square, if somebody knows him, he introduced me to Hansi, and he said, Hansi, she has to talk with you. Please take 30 minutes or give her 30 minutes. She has to ask you something. And I went to him, and I just wanted to ask him which way to go, or what was his advice on our future. And I told him about it, and I talked to him about it, and he asked some questions, and he also gave me an advice what to do. But then at the end he said, hey, listen, that sounds really, really interesting. Can you tell me what are you doing exactly? Can you summarize it a little bit? And I told it to him. I had no presentation or anything prepared. I had nothing really prepared. And we just talked about it, and he said, wow, that's really, really cool, and it really fits into my portfolio. I said, yeah. And yeah, that was the beginning of Hansi being our business angel, more or less.
I can remember talking to him about, because it was right when you launched Kiweno, and after that when he was assigned to it, and he said, yeah, basically, I don't invest anymore, but it was such a perfect fit. That's what he said.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said, really.
So since then, since this change, like, what was your major steps? What is your progress? Which market are you currently on to? What is your learnings now that you're in the total different market now, because it's now B2C, digital, completely different target group?
Yeah, actually I can't believe what happened in the last month myself. When I think back, it feels like a extremely long time. So we we really started in March, or in March. I think in February I moved from Innsbruck to Vienna. So before I always traveled. Every week I traveled to Vienna to have my business meetings and went back home to Innsbruck. And I moved to Vienna, and that was like a big step for me. So I moved here with knowing that I wanted to establish something here. And then we had to find a CTO to complete the team, because we knew we wanted to be a digital business, so we want to do everything online. Right now we're doing everything online, but I'll explain it a little bit later. And we found our CTO, Georg, and he joined us in April. And then it all started. We worked together with a team of 6 developers, and we developed a platform. We did all this rebranding. And we applied for a startup challenge from Pioneers, and we got accepted. And we really freaked out, because we had no name at this time and no logo, and it really pushed us to the limits, because we had to find, oh my God, we need a logo, and we need a brand and a name in just a couple of days, and we need a pitch deck and everything. And it was extreme pressure, but it was so good, because we had to focus and we had to do things. And then we also won at this Post Pioneers Challenge. So it was a really, really cool start, even before we launched. So it was 1 month before we launched, and we already had a lot of media coverage. And we decided we didn't plan that much at this time, because it was so much. We had so much to do, and we decided, like, one day before we went to this Pioneers pitch, that we are going to open up our web shop for pre-orders. And it was a great decision, because 1 month before we even launched, we had like 1,000 pre-orders, which was really cool. And then we launched in beginning of June 2015, and with our first product. So it's a food intolerance test, a home to laboratory test that you can conduct at home, and you get all your details, or all your data, your test results, and health information online. We launched it, and we had revenues from day one, or even before. We recruited new people. We moved to our first office. 3 weeks ago, we moved to our second office, because we became too big. We are now 16 people, so we tripled just in a couple of months, in 3 months, and we're doing really.
You're already recruiting again, I've heard.
Yeah, we're recruiting again. So we're recruiting.
Advertising.
Thank you so much for this hint. So if any one of you is interested to work in a really, really cool startup, where you can really do a lot, you have a lot of it's a great challenge, but you can do really a lot. And we're recruiting in field of IT, so front end, back end, full stack, devs, design, performance marketing, operations, office management,
the whole thing. So end of advertising
jobs
block here.
at Kiweno.com.
Okay, end of advertising block. So in the last months, you basically grew and grew and grew. So what is the big challenges you're currently facing? Because there's always some. And what is the next steps, and what is the vision of Kiweno in the future?
Okay, our vision is to redefine individual healthcare. So we really want to redefine how you think of healthcare. We want that people have the chance and the possibility to take over responsibility for their own health, and we provide the tools and services for it. It's a really educational approach. We want that people understand their health, and that they really that they get familiar with it, and we provide all this data for it. Only 15% of people have access to their own health data, which is ridiculous because you can't understand your health and your body if you don't know what's wrong or right with you. So we, with our online platform, we want to give people access to their own data that really enables us to make positive changes. And there are a lot of challenges. There are always challenges, no problems. Well, we have to take a lot of decisions right now. So we have to decide which way to go, which partners we want to work with. We have to decide which markets we want to enter. It's shaping our decisions right now are shaping our future, but it's always the kind with decisions. And clearly, we are also facing challenges, but I'm very happy that we have a management team. So my other two partners also like-minded, and we focus like 5% on the problem and 95% on finding a solution. So, yeah.
So you already started before that there is more to come. So what is there already products you can talk about that are in the pipeline that you're able to talk to us now, so that we have some advantage that we can already pre-order maybe at that time. So tell us the link to the web shop and we're gonna pre-order.
We will actually open the pre-order in 2 weeks. So we're launching new self-tests, so new home to laboratory tests. A lot of those are coming in the future. So we can analyze a lot of different biomarkers via blood and saliva. So everything that basically your doctor can do, we can do it too. And we're launching a histamine test in 2 to 3 weeks. And we're going in a little bit different field in the future, but I can't talk too much about it. And besides the hardware part, we are also launching new online features. So our platform, it's really a platform because it's interactive. It's not a monologue like when you get a PDF or whatever of your results. It's a monologue. It's a dialogue. So we want to interact with our customers and we want to really get them involved. We do a lot with or we plan to do a lot with gamification, approach and things like that. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go on the long outlook in general. I've had a look around beforehand, before we entered, and we have a much higher percentage of women in the audience at the moment. And this is generally, it seems, when we talk about life science, while when we talk about tech, like pure tech or IT tech, it's, let's say, more male audiences. It still is male dominated in here, but still. So do you see that in the life sciences field there is much more attraction for female, both founders but also people working in it, while in other areas of the startup scene it's, let's say, the opposite? And what would be your approach to encourage more? It is our topic, encourage more women to found or maybe come work at your company or at other companies, but also not only in life science but also in tech.
Okay, yeah. I think there are definitely fields that are, I would say, more natural or attractive for women. Maybe wellness, health, or life sciences. Yes, that's how we are raised. That's how or what a lot of women are interested in. But in general, we think, or we say we're really tech focused company. So it's also, it's a mixture of lifestyle and tech, and it's a pity that there are so little so few female founders and also CEOs in the tech scene. And as you asked what I wanted to do about it, or what I can do about it, I think what what inspired me always were like role models. I always had role models in my life. I had I always said to myself, okay, somebody else did it, so you can do it too. And if I can inspire somebody else, some younger women or also children in general to do what they want to do and to start their own business, it's a cool thing for me. So it's already a success for me. So actually I'm not proactively doing something, but I think being a role model and saying yes to opportunities that are offered to me. So I always say yes if I get asked if I want to be a speaker or if I want to sit on a panel, because I think it's extremely important that somebody does it. And even though I sometimes think, that's a challenge and I don't have time, or I don't feel like it or whatever, I do it because it's my part to give something back.
Thank you very much. Let's start with the Q&A session. So is there any questions before I ask my question that I have? I will keep it on. And as always, who knows who was here before, I'll repeat the questions that we have got it on first for our live stream guests, but also for the YouTube channel. And then after that I repeated it, maybe a bit shorter, she will answer. Please.
My question is in regard to your product and revenue stream. What you figured out to us was more a product model where you sell it one time. Will the future change that you get to a monthly revenue based on your customer base?
So the question was about your current revenue streams, and that it sounds like a pure one-time selling thing. Is there like plans to have like a monthly recurring revenue scheme, like everybody talks about monthly recurring revenue?
Okay, I would dare to say that we have an extremely scalable business model. That's also what investors really, really like, or at least what I sell them. So no, we are not focusing on single revenue streams. Our business model is really based on cross-selling, upselling, on in-platform purchases, in-app purchases, and things like that. Also with our food intolerance test, we are not promoting it right now really actively, but a food intolerance test is nothing that you do once in your life, because food intolerances change. Only 2 to 3% of food intolerances are like genetic. The rest of it is developed because of your lifestyle, because of what you do, what you eat, and where you live, for example. So it changes. It changes when you do a test today and you change your eating habits, you change your diet, then also your food intolerances hopefully change. So even this test is not a single revenue test, but right now we are not promoting it that much. But there will be additional tests that are much more focused on like generating recurring revenue streams.
Okay, thank you. Other questions? Ladies afterwards. First. The question was if, like, not if, because there is data protection, but what is the role of data protection in your startup, and if there are like potential customers at that stage that ask about data protection before they even purchase the product, and maybe what's your stance on data protection? How do you handle it?
Okay. Yeah, it's a really, really important topic. Clearly, we're dealing with medical, very personal data, and we are very aware of it. So we really have our data. We have it very secure. So it's transmitted very secure, and we don't even have access to our patients' reports if they don't want it. So they have to give us admission that we they have to say that we can also access their profiles. And we don't work together with third-party providers, for example. So we don't have like Google Analytics on our platform because we don't want that other parties also get data from it. And not only we are very sensitive about it, and we think it's a huge topic. We know it not only because customers are asking it. Yeah, customers are asking it. Customers are asking it before they even purchase. We also have requests if they want, if they can do it anonymous, and it's possible. So, but we don't only do it because it's important for our customers. We do it because it's extremely important for us. And our CTO, he's extremely sensitive about it. He's
and he arrived right away.
sorry.
And he arrived 2
Ah,
minutes
oh,
ago.
okay.
And he arrived 2 minutes
Hi.
ago. I thought you're now.
Yeah, it's your
petting him.
question.
Chair is in the front row. Yeah.
Hi.
There was a question right in front. Like is not a isn't insurance like maybe also at the B2B stage like a big topic, because insurances should have of course have some kind of inclination to like follow up on that, because if they can reduce levels, they can save on paying out insurances.
Yeah, sure. It's a huge topic, and as I said before, we really want to redefine the healthcare system. I mean, it's a huge goal. We are all very idealistic, I would say, but we want to really change this system step by step. And clearly, we need big partners like insurances. Insurances would be like a first step. But right now, I mean, they are starting to approach us. But it's not it's not like we want to or we wish it would be. I mean, they're very slow, and they're realizing that they have to do something about it, and they also that digital businesses are really interesting for them, and that also preventive healthcare, where we're preventive medical device, and they are starting to realize that it's really important. And we're also getting requests, but it's not that clear for all the insurances and other companies that should be interested in it.
They also might be more interested about the personal singular data than maybe aggregated data, which could also be a question. Is it good? Great. No, we've got sushi later on.
Hopefully,
so that's fine.
Hopefully you're tolerant to everything. Yeah.
Any further questions at the moment? There is one in the last row. So the question was about trust, like how is it, maybe reframe it, how is it possible to build up trust? Because there is, of course, people who rather go to a doctor or maybe who are a bit more sensitive and say all this online stuff like Amazon and stuff, I don't know what they're doing. Like, how do you approach that? Maybe how do you communicate to those people that are in general people, but also those people that are skeptic about giving you the data, like their personal healthcare data, which is something very, very sensitive.
Yeah, the base for what we are doing is our really excellent medical team. So not only my co-founder, who's an internist and who is really like a pioneer in the field of functional medicine. So he researches for more than 15 years only on the field of food intolerances. He's really internationally known for it, and he's a pioneer in this field. But also our other medical experts. We have nutritionist experts and all other kind of experts in this field. We work together with a very very established international laboratory. That is our cooperation our partner. That is like the base that makes it possible what we are doing, because we need these partners, and they give us a lot of credibility and trust. But we also have to do a lot about it. So we are very aware that people might say, okay, I want to go to the doctor, and that's fine for us. I mean, we don't want to do something for everyone. We think everyone would need it. Everyone would need our services, because it's good that, or it's a first step to a positive change. And even though, or even if we can only trigger you to get familiar with your body and your nutrition, and then you go to a nutritional expert or to an internist or whatever, it's a good step, and we did a good thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So
There's one more question. That's great, because it was actually the question that I was about to ask. How is your, like, do doctors trust you was the right question, but also, like, how is your relation? There's, of course, the Chamber of Doctors, and they're not very well known for being really progressive. It's not nothing bad, but it's like, it comes, of course, from their core of what they're doing. Like, has there been any issues, and how do you, like, is there communication between two, and how do you handle the doctors in the singular person, and maybe also the chamber as a whole conglomerate of doctors?
okay. Until now, we are very happy that we're in a good relationship with the Chamber of Doctors. So I hope it will stay like that if they, if they hear us. But yeah, I mean, there could be something. But as I said before, our co-founder, our medical medical CEO, would say he's very well known. So he really has a lot of trust in this field, and it really helps us. It makes it possible what we are doing. And funnily, as I said before, as I told you before, we wanted to approach doctors that they work together with us, and that they buy our test kits, and they didn't want it to do. And now we said, no, we don't want you. We do our own thing. We only sell via our online shop, and some cooperation partners, like strategic partners, that are not doctors, and now they are addressing us, and they all want to sell our test kits. So we have, I would say right now, one request per day from a doctor or from a nutritionist expert that wants to sell our test kits in there.
Without promotion. Isn't that a bit the Austrian way? You have to first make it before they come from themselves.
Yeah, it's funny, yeah. Yeah, it's might be the Austrian way.
If anybody has one more question, it's going to be the last one tonight. Where are the testing kits produced, actually?
Okay, so we are actually not producing the test kits. We buy the stuff from different companies, not in Austria, from big medical companies. And what we did with our laboratory is to work on to develop the testing method. So we just developed the analysis and the testing method, and how accurate it is. But we don't produce all the things on our own. I mean, these are tubes that you can just buy somewhere, so it wouldn't make any sense.
Thank you very much, Bianca. Give a warm round of applause for this great lady. That guy, sorry.
I'm used to it.
I'm very sorry.
Our investor. Sometimes our investor, when he talks to me and my two co-founders, he says, okay, go guys, you do it. Boys, you're great. So I'm used to it.
Just a quick one before we can go over to have maybe a couple more drinks and the sushi that we're having. And it's gonna be enough. I'm sorry, Georg, that you didn't know about it. you're really, but you can eat double. Would probably help you. There is our next event, which would be November, but it's actually gonna be on 3rd of December. We're gonna have 2 persons on stage at the same time. That's basically you can't get them without each other. I know them very well for a long time. They're called Alexander Slesak and Klaus Schremser. They founded the company Gentix, which is a traditional company, grew it and sold it to Appa. They founded Wikitalks, which was sold to Atlassian. Maybe some of you know the company Atlassian. And one of the third co-founder now lives in Australia. Poor guy, I hate him so much. It's horrible. It's Heimer. It's one of them. It's a good guy. It's a good friend. And after they now finally, like, Gentix was sold off, they did their earn-out, and now they found Unwired Networks, the next one, and they're already working on the new, on another 1 or 2 ideas. So they are really serial entrepreneurs in the IT field. They're really great guys. They're one of those couple guys when they call me and tell me, I want to do something, then I'm gonna simply go and say yes. So really interesting people to talk to speak to us, and maybe to talk to you later on. So that's gonna be on 3rd of December, the last for this year. So the lineup for 2016, we're gonna prepare in the meantime. So you're gonna get it on our channels. Also, of course, thanks to our sponsors, because we have sushi and some drinks, and of course, I don't pay them out of my pocket, which is good because Georg eats so much that I couldn't afford it. So there is first BVideo, who helps us with the live streaming, does our live streaming. If you need something with live streaming, have an event or something, simply approach them. They're really great guys, very easy to go by that. Then there is Holvi, who are having the pilot program till the end of the year, then it runs out. Hannes is the smart guy and the smart jacket in behind. If you need something, they're like the online bank for small businesses. I've got 3 Holvi accounts, trust me. It's really nice, really good. They also have their apps out, as far as I can remember. I have it on my phone. Of course, I want to thank Sector 5 as usual. They're like the best hosts ever. It is like so easy going. Like you simply drop them a mail, everything works, and it's like really easy to go. Trust me, I've made bigger events, can be much worse. So they are really great. And Trigo, unfortunately, David I didn't see because of his little child, probably not here. They are a small company, doing freelance stuff and taking over development work in IT. They are also specialists on the Docker area. They do Docker trainings. If you need Docker training for your staff or for yourself, really good guys. I worked with them for a couple of years. Really nice ones. As always, follow us on all the average channels that you can find, Facebook, Twitter. There is a meetup channel for the next events. All our videos are online on the Startup Grind local video, where you can also find from all other roughly 160 chapters worldwide, speakers with interesting stories. You can't view them all. You won't have any time left for your life. But there's interesting speakers on there. And then I want to say thank you. It has been 1 year and 1 day since we started that one here with the bottom right with Oliver Holle 1 year and 1 day ago, last year. I'm very thankful for my team with Hannes at the mixing area. Hedi is somewhere behind, talking to smart-looking guys. Yeah, that she's on the right. And Gernot, who can't be here with us tonight. They are with us for a long time now. Michi is now joining us, who's in front. And it's great. I couldn't have done it without them. Thank you. It's been one wonderful year. We're going to do it further. Going to have a lot of interesting speakers in the next year. I look forward to seeing you all very soon, 3rd of December. Let's go and get some sushi and beer. Thank you very much.